Here on First Things First with Chris Broussard. We're going viral. The 76ers season ended in depressing fashion. No one more saddened than Joel Embiid, whose emotions got the best of him following the Game 7 loss to the Raptors. And Embiid is leaning into it, changing his Twitter picture profile to shots of him crying. Big man, bold move, in touch with his feelings. I like it.
I think for most people, this made them like Embiid more. Like how much he cared, how much it affected him. I thought Marc Gasol was really cool what he did after the game, grabbing him and trying to give him words of encouragement after they battled for 7 games. But, I mean, you've talked about, how you wouldn't do it in the stadium, but you'd go out to your car sometimes, be affected by some losses. Yeah, you idiot. Don't tell people on national TV. I told you that personally. No, you told that on the show. That's not
You've tried after games.
Yeah, I don't like to lose. Yeah, you put all that work into it. No, I'm not good today. All right, I'm not good today.
It was great. Look, what I saw for the first time in Joel Embiid's career was evidence that he really cares. And hopefully this pain will lead him to lose about 20, 25 pounds, improve his work ethic, and change his diet. If you're in that much pain, if it affected you that much, then let's see a different guy.
Lose that much weight, 20 to 25.
15, 20,
you see how big he is? Yeah, 25 pounds is a lot of weight, but I guess he's 7'2".
That might be enough. 20, 15, whatever, but whatever he needs, whatever the doctors tell him he needs to do.
So I'm thinking with the calculation, all I got to do is lose a couple basketball games and get off this crazy, stupid workout and diet thing that I've been on, and I feel like that would work.
I have no idea the words you just said, Jenna. I'd love to go along with it, but I didn't know what you just said.
The Jenna Wolf story.
Jenna, that's a great dress.
Thank you. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, hey, we thought this would come down to supporting cast. For the most part, it did. Raptors leading most of the way in this one until the Bucks rallied late, outscoring Toronto in the fourth quarter 32-17. And the forgotten Brook Lopez chipping in 29 points for Milwaukee as they take Game 1 by a 108-100 final. Here's Giannis after the win.
I think we need games like this because not every game going to be a blowout. Not every game going to be easy. So, we're going to go back tomorrow, watch the tape, try to get better. And I think this game definitely made us better.
Fourth quarter killed us, 32-17. I mean, they outplayed us in that fourth quarter. They got a little bit more aggressive. They made some big shots, made some big plays. Yeah, we just, it sucks when you lose like that. But, we had a chance, and we got to learn from it, make an adjustment. Stay even keeled, never, not too high, not too low. Just look at the film and get better.
Broussard, Kyle Lowry did his part with 30 points last night. How are the Bucks able to win this game?
Well, you mentioned it, the supporting cast. And they got plenty of help from their supporting cast. And Toronto obviously got none. They had 12 points total off the bench. Malcolm Brogdon by himself had 15 for Milwaukee. And look at the minutes. I think fatigue, Lowry mentioned it, 32-17 Milwaukee in the fourth quarter. Toronto was fatigued. 4 of their 5 starters played 40 minutes or more. Giannis led the Bucks with 37 minutes. Yep. I mean, the depth is huge. And I don't think, look, it's hard to take Kawhi out because they took him out for 2.5 minutes to start the fourth and were outscored 8-0. Lost that lead they brought into the fourth quarter. Nick Nurse has got to find a way to do a better job of staggering Kawhi's minutes early on. Like, he had played 33 of 36 minutes in the first 3 quarters. You got to find some time in those first 3 quarters to give him some rest. Because Kawhi is not used to playing these types of minutes. Coming out of San Antonio, I mean, he only averaged 34 minutes in the regular season, sat out 22 games for rest. Now he's playing 40 minutes a game in the playoffs. He never played more than 37 minutes in San Antonio in the playoffs. Popovich did a great job of getting his players rest, making sure they didn't play too many minutes in the regular season and the postseason. So I think he got fatigued. That's the only way I can explain his struggles in the fourth quarter. And I think as a team, they were fatigued.
Well, as a strategy standpoint, let's go from where Toronto was in Game 7, winning with Kawhi hitting the buzzer beater from the corner. Emotionally, we thought they'd come into this game and they would have a dip. It's hard for them to build a match. We saw Portland. They couldn't match what they did in Game number 7. 2 days later, playing against Golden State. So we thought, but going through 3 quarters, we were like Nick Nurse. he put this thing together. They had a good game plan. They tightened up their rotation because they weren't getting help from their bench. They got bench scoring in the first half. In the second half and in the fourth quarter, those things disappeared. So they had a good game plan. The thing is, what do we want? Because we said earlier, Nick, hey, man, Kawhi, if he's going to be a superstar, he's got to be able to play 40 minutes.
He's on the
I heard someone say that.
Plan.
I heard that. So they're not as deep as Milwaukee. We can't expect them to get deep. OG is not back with the team.
Not there, and
they missed those minutes because Kawhi and him at that small forward, at that 2 guard, he would be able to log all those other minutes. So if they can make some shots in the fourth quarter, now they gave Brook Lopez a couple looks created by Giannis in the paint, and they ran a couple plays to get them a couple open looks. But there's not a big difference between these two teams in this game. Late in the game, Milwaukee clamped down defensively and shut them down. First quarter, Toronto scores 34 points. They only scored 41 points the second half. So a lot of that had to do with Milwaukee and the type of defense they played late.
And aside, in the fourth quarter, aside from Kyle Lowry, the Raptors are 0 for 15 from the field. But I want to talk about Kawhi for a second because you're right. I said it during the Sixers series that Kawhi Leonard's about to get, the way his supporting cast was playing, he's about to get used to that LeBron James in Cleveland life, which is you go to the bench and all that work you did, first 9 minutes of a quarter, gets frittered away in the final 2 or 3 minutes of the quarter. And in a game like this where Toronto takes a lead 8-6 and then leads the rest of the way until the fourth quarter, you would have liked to see Nick Nurse steal some minutes for him, but he couldn't. And
they may not have had that lead.
They might not have had that lead. And then Kawhi, I've never been a guy that says points early are not as valuable as points late. So I'm not going to bang on. Kawhi had 31 points. He was the second best player on his team last night. But he clearly ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. Didn't make a shot in the fourth quarter, made 2 free throws. He was absolutely wiped out.
Short.
They were short. You could see it. And so I don't think Kawhi played a terrible game. I think he had a really rough fourth quarter because he was exhausted. But it is up to his teammates to play better throughout so he doesn't have to play the entirety of the third quarter. So he doesn't have to play 21 of the 24 minutes in the first half. Because you said through 3 quarters, Toronto looked like things were going well. Man, I said it on Twitter as soon as the third quarter ended, that given the fact that we knew Kawhi was going to rest to start the quarter, given the fact that Milwaukee had just gone 0 for 11 in the quarter from 3, and Giannis rested some of that quarter, I love Milwaukee's chances. Because
but we've seen the other teams, though. It's been consistent in the NBA. Teams are cold for 3 quarters, and you know something? They don't hit.
Sometimes they stay cold for 4.
Yes.
No doubt about it. Absolutely. They were 6 for 34 from 3 through 3 quarters. They were 5 for 10 in the
Toronto could not have done anything different. I know we're looking back in the rearview mirror. At that third quarter in it, when Siakam hit that buzzer beater to be able to negate some of the momentum, we knew Kawhi was going to the bench. It's about making plays. Every guy in the fourth quarter, you know something? When he misses shots, you know what people say? Oh, he's tired. Well, that's part of the game. That's part of the physicality and the intensity. That's why it's called the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not supposed to be easy. But the greatest players, even under duress, they are able to make some contribution. Kawhi couldn't get a shot to go, and he still played a great game. These are the types of games that you expect in NBA playoffs.
Well, and you mentioned Siakam's 3. This is because it wasn't just the fourth quarter, and Lowry was great. And to me, Lowry and Brook Lopez played outlier games. I don't think either one of those guys is going to have that game. But look at Broussard. This is the second half. Look at everyone other than Leonard and Lowry. The one basket was that Siakam buzzer beater at the end of the half. Yeah. That was it. And so if that's the level of production you're going to get, not just from your bench, it's 3 other starters. This is going to be a tough series for Marc Gasol. They are pulling him away from the basket. And one thing that I thought was really encouraging on the Bucks standpoint, because Giannis offensively wasn't great. He was spectacular defensively, and he was a good playmaker.
Didn't that have a lot to do with Marc Gasol and Siakam, though?
Say it again.
Why?
Well, I thought Toronto did a great job of kind of they clearly said, look, we're going to slow down Giannis and make the other guys beat you. And that's the choice you have to make when you play Milwaukee. But if somebody or a group of players are hitting threes like Lopez was yesterday, you could be in trouble. And they didn't shoot it well from 3.
No, not until the fourth quarter. They were 6 of 34, and then they finished 5 of 10. But the point that I was making about Giannis is first half, 0 free throw attempts. Second half, he made an adjustment that took him from game 1 to game 2 in the Boston series.
Right.
He made it at halftime. Okay, I'm just going through you. 12 free throw attempts in the second half alone for Giannis. That's how he's able to be effective. He only made 1 basket in the second half, but he was getting to the line repeatedly. That was enough to go along with Lopez exploding.
Missed opportunity for the Toronto Raptors in game 1 as the Bucks take it. Chris will see you a little bit later on in the show. Coming up, is El Bell already at odds with his new coach? That took about 4 minutes. That's next on First Things First.